Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
The Jurassic World Rebirth trailer is finally here, and there are some really cool, awesome things to talk about. For those of you that don't know, Jurassic World Rebirth takes place 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. In those 5 years, the world has grown increasingly more inhospitable to dinosaurs. Any dinosaurs that still remain are most likely isolated in specific areas that aren't known to the public. Covert operations expert Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, is tasked with leading a mission to an undisclosed island to gather DNA samples from 3 of the biggest dinosaurs InGen has ever created, due to their potential medical benefit. While on the expedition, they encounter a family that's been stranded on the island due to a pack of marine animals attacking their boat. Then, of course, everything goes wrong, and the characters are going to have to find a way to escape the island. With the plot out of the way, let's get into analyzing this trailer and seeing if we can find any cool Easter eggs that'll tell us more about this film and what to expect going forward.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God.
Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place.
In the first part of the trailer, we see this shot of a Rex skeleton underneath a "When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth" banner, which is a callback to the original Jurassic Park movie. And surrounding the Rex skeleton looks like some workers who are fixing up a potential museum. In this scene, we're also introduced to 3 of the characters in this movie: Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, Martin Krebs, played by Rupert Friend, and Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey. Then we get this little scene that looks like one of the first moments that they're on the island. You see what looks pretty similar to the original Brachiosaurus scene from Jurassic Park, with the characters looking up at the Titanosaur. And I have to say, I absolutely love this design. And then we also have this cool shot of a Quetzalcoatlus flying over some rock formations.
He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Move up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
In the next part of the trailer, we get introduced to another one of the lead characters of the movie, Duncan Kincaid, played by Mahershala Ali. And he's seen playing a game at a bar in what looks like some sort of fishing dock in a tropical coast. And you can tell by the dialogue exchange in this scene that Zora knows who he is and wants him to be part of her mission. He mentions heading to Barbados, which is a country in the Caribbean. That way they can avoid government patrols, but there aren't very many because, quote, "no one is dumb enough to go where we're going." Which of course isn't true, because otherwise there wouldn't be a movie.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
There's a lot of important bits in this part of the trailer, starting with this shot of the island. I had a couple predictions on what this island could be, and based on some of the rumors that I've heard, my initial thought was Isla Muerta from Las Cinco Muertes. Looking at this picture of Isla Muerta, my first thought was that they were sailing up past these formations of rock to the island from this side. But looking at this map of where Barbados is and where Las Cinco Muertes would be, it just doesn't really work. So my best guess is it's just some random island in the Caribbean that InGen somehow got a hold of to do their initial dinosaur research. Next, we have this clip of an abandoned lab. According to the plot so far, this whole island seems to be where InGen did their first dinosaur creating, which probably led to a lot of failed experiments. And in this frame, you can actually see a faded InGen logo behind Duncan. Then we have this really cool two-headed raptor, which is probably another failed experiment. I looked at this for a long time and I couldn't really figure out what it is, but my best guess is probably that it's some sort of either baby dinosaur or a small theropod like Microraptor or Compsognathus. In this scene, it looked like the characters were either about to get attacked by the Quetzalcoatlus, or it was foreshadowing that they would be attacked by them later on. Which then leads to this cool shot of Zora rappelling down a cliff. And then it leads to this shot of both Zora and Dr. Loomis in what looks like some sort of ancient temple, messing with Quetzalcoatlus eggs that are clearly in a nest. And that appears to be the scene that they do end up getting attacked by the Quetzalcoatlus, which do have a new design that looks really cool and different from their design in Jurassic World Dominion.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst, we're left here. We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
Okay, so this next part is just jam-packed with crazy stuff, starting with this scene of Duncan lighting a flare, with Zora clearly afraid of something. And in the back of Zora here, you can see two other characters. I can't make out their faces, but I'm assuming it's probably these two guys here, and then there's someone else behind them. So whatever's going on in this scene, there's a lot of people present for it. And then that moves into this really cool shot of the raptor sickle claws. And I've heard the raptor design in this movie is supposed to kind of mimic the design from Jurassic Park 3, so I'm really excited for that. And then you get this shot of a bunch of people standing on what looks like a dock, and the first image of the hybrid for this movie, which has been labeled as the D-Rex. Here's another shot of it here, which I think is in the same scene with Duncan, again, lighting that flare. It looks like he's telling everyone else to stay back. Based on Zora's face here, it makes me wonder if maybe something bad happened to Duncan. I don't want to get my hopes up, but this shot of the vehicle they're driving in this scene looks oddly similar, at least in the color pattern, to the original Jeeps in Jurassic Park. In this scene, you have a bunch of people running from something and Zora shooting at something, both of which happen in some sort of warehouse or facility. And then we have this beautiful shot of this redesigned Dilophosaurus, and I really hope that it's size accurate in this movie, because I feel like they've done us dirty with having all the other Dilophosaurs as juveniles in the rest of the series. And then in what looks like the same scene, we have this absolutely beautiful redesign of the Tyrannosaur with this awesome looking striped pattern. Then they give us another shot of the D-Rex in some sort of glass cage. And I've heard that it's apparently based off of both a xenomorph from Alien and a Rancor from Star Wars. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. It definitely looks very menacing. And then this scene looks like it is a sort of replica of the river scene with the T-Rex from the Jurassic Park novel, and I hope that it is pretty accurate to that scene because it's one of my favorite parts of the book, but either way, it's cool to have it in the movie. Then you have this shot of Dr. Loomis, who looks very out of breath and has a concerned look on his face, telling everyone in the group that
Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
For the final part of the trailer, they gave us this really cool scene with a boat surrounded by 3 Spinosaurs, which are finally back after all these years, and also the Mosasaurus. Then you finally have a good shot at this family here, which I believe is the same family that gets stranded on the island at the beginning. This is probably my favorite shot from the entire trailer. I love that you finally get a little glimpse of the Spinosaur's head, and the way it's leaping for the human in the scene is just really cool. And I love the new design for the Spino. It looks way more bulky now, and more realistic, obviously, to its more recent discoveries. And then we get a look at the Mosasaurus as well, which I believe is a different Mosasaurus than the one from Jurassic World. That's all the stuff that I got from the trailer. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're all excited for Jurassic World Rebirth, and let me know your opinions down in the comments below.